our colleagues, all the attendees.
Yeah, great.
I don't know whether you can hear me or not.
Yeah, I
Seems
could.
like there's
Yeah, I can hear you very well. Si Ali, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Good. Si Kamel and Madame Camelia. Maybe not yet. So, Mrs. Nasri, are you there? Mrs. Mrabet, Mrs. Reem bin Salem, Mrs. Hayfa Majdoub. So, if you are with us, please say hello.
Hello, I'm here, listening
Mrs.
to you.
Oh, great.
Great. Mrs. Hayfa Majdoub, I guess, yeah? Is that Mrs. Hayfa?
Yes, hello.
Hello, Mrs. Hayfa Majdoub. Welcome on board. Still waiting for Mrs. Reem bin Salem, Mrs. Leila Mrabet, and Mrs. Monjia Nasri.
Leila Mrabet is here.
Great. So,
Yes, I am
welcome
here.
on board, Mrs. Leila Mrabet.
Thank you.
Mrs.
Pleasure
Monjia.
is mine.
Thank you. Mrs. Monjia Nasri and Mrs.
Can
Reem
you
bin
listen
Salem.
to me?
Yes. Yeah, we can hear you very well, Mrs. Nasri. Just say hello to all our dear participants. Mrs.
Yes,
Nasri?
can you listen to me?
Yes, we can hear you. Just say hello to
Can
our
you
dear
listen to me?
participants. Yes, we do.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you for the warm welcome.
Thank you, Mrs. Nasri. We are still waiting for Mrs. Reem bin Salem before we get started. Mrs. Reem? So maybe we could hear from you in a couple of minutes, Mrs. Reem bin Salem. Okay, I think it's time to get started with today's webinar. So hello, everyone, and welcome to our 13th webinar. Today's session is incomparably a special session because we're celebrating the World Teachers' Day. And what is more, we have a guest of honor with us who is dear to our hearts. We'll introduce him in a couple of minutes along with today's speakers. So without any further ado, let me remind you of the U-innovate steering committee. Mrs. Camelia Zurgari, an ELT inspector in the area of Monastir. Mrs. Lama Atwi, an ELT inspector in the area of Tunis 2. Mr. Kamal Sheikh, an ELT inspector in Midnin, and myself, Habib Shani, an ELT inspector in the area of El Kef. Loyal participants are familiar with our housekeeping rules, I think. But let me kindly ask all of you to mute your microphones during the teachers' talks. Let me also remind you that a recorded version of this webinar will be available shortly after today's session. And I have started recording today's session, Mrs. Lama Atwi. Now it is with great honor and with lots of love and respect, I would like to introduce Ali Souli, a retired general inspector who forged a high flying and distinguished career in ELT profession. He's firm, he's fair, he's consistent, he's very good at encouraging others. He's also a good listener. He, throughout his career, throughout a very long career, more than 35 years, he made a big impact on ELT practitioners nationwide, not only in the Kef area. To all of us, he feels like a family member, a friend, than simply a workmate or a colleague. Among many things he's known for, his devotion, his dedication to his profession, his assiduity, punctuality, meticulousness are really exemplary. I may spend hours presenting his traits and giving anecdotes about his professionalism. Just ask Mrs. Sharfi, Mr. Abdulhamid Al-Beji, Mrs. Camilla Zurgati, Mrs. Mune, Mr. Abd Samad Hamami, Mr. Hatem Al-Khalifi Sabin, who happen to be ELT inspectors in the KEF area. Just ask them about his kindness, about his professionalism, and about all the traits that make him a distinguished educator. Frankly speaking, and to tell you the truth, he doesn't like compliments and praise. He says he tried to do his job well, and he's not the only one who keeps trying. That's a sign of genuine humility, and I do respect that. Now he's enjoying his retirement. So Siali, congratulations on a wonderful career. It has been a real pleasure to know you and work with you. When I think of Siali, I'm reminded of the following quotation by John Steinbeck. I have come to believe that great teacher is a great artist, and that there are as few as there are any other great artists. Teaching might even be the greatest of the arts, since the medium is the human mind and spirit. Mr. Ali, you are one of the great artists of the teaching profession. You have made a lasting impression through the lives of the students you have taught and the teachers you have trained. A warm and big thank you for the tireless effort you've put into the work. Thank you. Thank you so much for everything you've done for the ELT profession. I think over to you. I couldn't really, whatever I say, I could spend really books, and I couldn't really go through and finish all the traits, all your traits, and talk about all your qualities. So without any further ado, over to you, Siali. So we would like to hear from you.
Thank you. That's very, very kind of you. Though it's a little bit long and a little bit, maybe I do not deserve all of these compliments, but I do thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I do thank everybody who's attending this webinar, many of whom are familiar faces to me. I'd like to say hello to Mr. Kamal Sheikh, Mrs. Lema Atwi, Mrs. Zurgati, if she's attending as well, Mrs. Monjia Nasri, of course, Misreem bin Salem, and all the others whom I've never had the opportunity to meet and see, but I hope that I'll see them one day. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very glad to be a guest of honor attending your webinar, and I wish you all the best. You're doing a great job. I know that with the new generation of teachers, of inspectors, of educators, technology has helped a lot. They are using it the right way, really. So this is the double-edged weapon of technology. You are using it in the best way. And I'm very, very, very glad. Now I can see you, Mr. Habib Sherry, and I hope I can see some of the other guests or the other, let's say, participants, because it seems that I'm the only guest here. And I have this advantage of being a guest of honor. Of course, I am very, very glad and happy that the new generations of teachers, of inspectors are doing a very good job, and they do believe in their mission. So if there is something I've done, it is just my mission as an educator. Let me tell you an anecdote very briefly. A friend of mine, a colleague of mine, who is 10 years older than I am, and that's namely Mr. Muhammad bin Abdullah Insous. This gentleman told me once, please do not say we've done our duty. Say we've tried to do our duty. That's really great, really. So we need to be humble and say we tried to do our duty, our job in the right way. Of course, in this era of, let's say, mediocrity among some people and I mean some professionals. Of course, if you do something in the right way, you might be seen as someone who is doing the very best job, if you like. So we are trying to do our job correctly, adequately. And I'm glad that, as I told you, generations of inspectors, of teachers are still doing, if you like, this job, which I consider not as a job, not as a breadwinning, let's say, job. It's more than that. It is a mission. And you may know, I'm sure you know, Mr. Habib Sherni, Mrs. Reem bin Salem, and many other teachers do know about this. My favorite, let's say, line in verse in Arabic, this happens to be, is قم للمعلم وفه التبجيل كاد المعلم أن يكون رسولا. So this is very, very important that we compare the teacher to a prophet because of this noble mission. So this is something that we all should be very proud of. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Souli. Thank you, Souli. Mrs. Reem bin Salem has just joined us. So hello, Mrs. Reem bin Salem, and welcome on board.
Hello, Mr. Ali Souli.
Hello,
I'm
Mrs.
so
Reem
glad.
bin Salem. It's
Hi,
a pleasure.
It's a pleasure for me too.
Hi, hello, everything. How are you?
Fine, thanks.
That's great. I met her 3 years ago. Just imagine that, of course.
Sure, when we paid
yes.
tribute to you during the Arts Festival, the festival founded by Mrs. Naima Sharfi.
Yes, and I'd like to say hello to her if she happens to be listening, or if one day you meet her, please remember me to her and say how much I do respect her as a colleague.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. bin Salem, and thank you, Ali. I think we have Majdoub. I'm not sure. I'm just checking. Majdoub. Is that our colleague, Majdoub? Are you our colleague?
It's me. Hi.
Hi, Majdoub. Hello, welcome. So we'd like to hear from you, Majdoub. So welcome on board. Welcome among us. We'd like to hear from you.
Thank you, Sir Habib. I'm so happy to meet Souli virtually. It's a long time we haven't met or heard from each other. This is a good opportunity to hear from this nice guy. And by the way, I'd like to congratulate you on having this platform or this forum for meeting among the English teacher and inspector. Just one thing. Today I noticed that there is a kind of gender inequality. There are 4 ladies, but there are no gentlemen to talk to us about their experience, about how they are doing as teachers.
Thank you, Majdoub, but you are with us and Souli is with us. So today is not about presenting things. It's kind of a round table, so it's open to all the participants. It's open to all teachers to share their anecdotes, to share their ideas about the World Teachers Day. So we're celebrating the World Teachers Day. So we're not presenting things in the let's say in the old usual way. We're simply sharing things, and we're trying to celebrate the World Teachers Day in our own way. And let me tell you that we are pleased to have you today among us. It's a real honor. I think it's the first time that you joined us. So. Thank you, Majdoub. Over to you.
I thank you. It's the first time I discover this platform or this forum, and I congratulate you for taking the initiative of implementing this nice forum or nice place for teachers and educators to meet and exchange ideas relating to all education matters.
Thank you,
Majdoub. Yeah, let me remind you. Yeah, just Madame Lamir, just 1 or 2 words and then over to you. Silamjad and the rest. So this is the effort, of course. This is not an individual effort. The group is the U-innovate is the result of hard work of 4 members, mainly the 2 ladies, Mrs. Laman, Mrs. Camelia, and Mr. Kamel Sheikh, who is on his way back to Medellin right now. So, and myself. So it's the effort of the 4 members. Over to you, Mrs. Laman, if you'd like to add something.
Yeah, and there's gender equality here.
Yes.
I was saying that I could read the name of Madame Najid Hosni in the list. I don't know whether she's with us, whether she can hear us or not.
Hi, everybody. Hi, can you hear me?
Hi.
We do.
Hello. Hello,
Najid
everybody.
Hosni?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Are you Mrs. Najid?
Okay, I've got a problem. Hi,
Yeah.
Sally. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to see you. Yeah.
Thank you.
It's a long
Yes,
time, as Silamjit said. Okay.
but
You
I
know,
can't see you.
I really shuffled all my schedule this afternoon, and I missed a family meeting, gathering, and I said, no, I must be here today. You know that I really love you. You are my mentor. I respect you. And I'm an old hand here, I think. And I'm the first one to know before all the other members.
Very kind of you. Very kind of you. That's true. That's true. Yes.
You are my mentor, yeah, and I learned a lot of you. You know that the first time we met was in Makfara. I'm not going to tell the time, otherwise they will discover my age. Something I don't want that. No, I don't want them to know. So I'm so happy. Yeah. Thank you, all the team of U-innovate team members. Okay, and I'm glad. Okay, and I really appreciate what you have done, and this opportunity to organize this meeting, yeah, to talk with our colleagues, and is an opportunity to share ideas and also to thank. Because if what is gratitude? It's nothing. If it's like you love people, but if you don't say to them thank you, it's like wrapping a present and you do not give that present to the person you love, and that person that means a lot for you. So thank you for all of you, and I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Thank you, Mrs. Hosni. Mrs. Lema, if you can see any of our colleagues with us, so please invite them to say a few words.
Yeah, I'm not wearing my eyeglasses. I forgot about them. But I'll tell you if I see any familiar names. Meanwhile, I would like to bring in Mrs. Leila Mrabet, our first speaker. Hi, madam. Can you hear us?
Yes, I hear you very well.
Yeah, welcome. So let me introduce Mrs. Leila Mrabet to the colleagues who don't know her. She is a seasoned teacher with an experience spanning over 29 years. She holds a BA from l'École Normale Supérieure de Sousse. She believes in the importance of collaboration and innovation to maximize learning for the students. Mrs. Mrabet took part in recording a series of lessons for the educational TV channel last year. In her talk, she will share her experience with challenging the comfort zone as an educator. So the floor is yours, madam.
Thank you very much. Shall I activate my camera?
If you'd like to share your screen or share, just do it.
Okay. Hello, that's me.
Hello and welcome on board.
Thank you. Thank you very much for this good opportunity, great opportunity to get acquainted with great people like you, especially our guest of honor. I don't know, really, I don't know. I didn't know about you. I don't know your names, but I was listening very well to what you were saying. and I'm very honored to be with you today. Well, teaching has been, was my ambition right from the beginning. That's why I enrolled in École Normale de Sousse, because I wanted to be well prepared for my dream job. Okay. And then I set off doing the job that I liked, which is teaching, of course, but I was also learning from my inspectors, to whom I owe very much. I had the honor to work with 4 inspectors, but the 2 that really marked and left prints in my career were Mrs. Aisha Mizzi. I worked with her for years, and it was her who taught me how to work in the right way, really. I am so grateful to her, and she helped me to stand on sound ground in my job. She put me on the right path, and I thank her very much for that. And then came Mrs. Lama Atwi, and with her, of course, was the turning point, really the turning point, and she marked a landmark in my career, a milestone, sorry, in my career. All started in the first meeting. She talked of CPD. Well, I heard that for the first time, to say the truth. What's CPD? She explained things for me and for my colleagues, and then she asked us to draw a line graph and to draw a line to represent how our career, professional career, developed. Well, I drew my own line. At first, the pen went up, and then it went this way, okay, horizontal. Oh, and I was shocked, really, shocked, because it's like the same as on a life supporting machine in a hospital when a person's heart stops beating. So this means the person is dead, okay? And then I asked myself, a dead teacher, professionally, of course, speaking, was teaching youngsters who were ambitious, who were aspiring, who were learning, who wanted to know more about life and, education and the subject itself. And I was professionally dead. How come? So really, I was knocked sideways. And then from that moment, I started attending every training meeting with Mrs. Lama and every webinar, okay? And the first skill she taught us was how to edit a video. Well, everything was new for me, okay? How to edit a video. It was hard for me. Of course, I asked the help of my daughter, who belonged to the young generation, who knew better than us in that field. And although Miss Atwi knew that my daughter helped me, but she encouraged me a lot and urged me to work more and to learn more, okay? And then, of course, during those webinars and meetings, I learned a lot. I learned from my colleagues. I learned from Ms. Lamatwi, of course. I learned from my colleagues who were better than me in the field. I learned how to use Google tools. I learned how to use Padlet, Wakelet, the PowerPoint. I learned using applications like Microsoft Teams, Google Meet, Zoom. I learned how to join the meeting smoothly, like I did today. And then I learned how to create meetings myself. Okay, with my pupils, of course. Now, with what I learned, of course, I can attend even online meetings organized by other universities and educational sites online. So I could take part in webinars without the help of my coach, Mrs. Lama Atwi. Okay, and then came the opportunity, the biggest opportunity, which was to participate in the TV lessons. Of course, at first I was so scared of showing up on the screen, being watched with thousands of people all over Tunisia. But then again, Mrs. Atwi was there to push me forward and to encourage me and to restore my self-confidence. During those lessons, well, all the skills were integrated. We learned all the skills, lesson planning, speaking, writing, listening, collaborating, teamwork, searching the net for videos and material. I learned much, very much. Really, I thank God I had the opportunity to be still teaching while Miss Atwi was there. And that was the turning point I was telling you about. Now, how I benefited also from those new skills. Now, whenever I need to work to have extra work with my pupils, I don't need to overload their timetables with extra hours. I do it online through Zoom application or Google Meet. Of course, my pupils are skilled at using this because, you know, new generations are they know very well in the field, and this helped me a lot to work more smoothly, more comfortably with my pupils. Well, this is what I had to do. I wanted to say in this meeting. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Madam Leila. Actually, Madam Leila was supposed to share with me, I mean, the content of her talk, but she didn't, and now I know why. Thank you very much, Madam Leila, for your kind words. I really appreciate the collaboration and, I mean, your spirit of learning all the time. You're really an example to follow. So thank you very much, Madam, for everything. I don't know whether anybody has got a question for Madam Leila or comments. Yeah, I'm giving the floor to the other colleagues, the attendees, if they would like to comment on what you said. Habib, would you like to add something?
Yeah, it's a real pleasure to know Mrs. Mrabet. And what I really appreciate is that at this age, though age is not a matter of years, so after 29 years and you're still learning about technology, you are leveraging the potential of technology in your classroom. You are excited, you are enthusiastic about incorporating new tools in your teaching. I could just say I couldn't really, or this is not a habit of all teachers. And I think that I talked about artists, and I said that Souli was among and one of those artists. Now I have to say that you are also another artist. So because of your perseverance, because of your commitment, because of your devotion and dedication to your job, you didn't give up. You kept believing in your students and believing that the classroom could be better with new tools. So again, I congratulate and thank you for the tireless efforts that you put and that you've certainly put into your work during all your years, during all your career, during your long career. So again, you're showing that it's not a matter of age, it's a matter of mindset. Yes. It's a matter of believing in students and believing that teaching is a skill. So thank you once again. Over to all other participants. Yeah, thank you. Over to other participants if they would like to add something.
Habib?
Yeah, go ahead, Silamjin.
Yeah.
Yeah, please, Silamjin, we'd like to hear from you. Yeah, go ahead.
I would like to thank the teacher who has just been presenting
Mrs. Mrabet, Mrs. Leila Mrabet, yeah.
Mrs. Mrabet. And this is the kind of teachers we need nowadays. What's special with her is that she adapted to the change that is occurring in the world by integrating technology in her teaching. And this is what we need in our classrooms. Nowadays, the kids that we have in the classrooms are tech savvy. Technology is in every aspect of their lives. And it doesn't make sense to me that when they get into the classrooms, they go back years into using, the chalkboard and to doing outdated textbooks. So the integration of technology is a good asset for teacher, and that during the meetings with my teacher, I advise them and encourage them to try to start, if they have not been doing so already, to start incorporating technology in their classrooms. Otherwise, they will be also, outdated, and their pupils will switch off from their lessons, and they will not get their attention. They will not make them involved and engaged in their. So thank you for the effort you did, Mrs. Mrabet.
Thank you, Silamjad. That's well said and thoughtful, and this certainly, I just echo what you've said. So in today's world, we need teachers like Mrs. Mrabet, and certainly there are many, and we do need them to make education a better one and impactful, and maybe with it's clear that we could change this nation, we could change our future, only we couldn't change it if we do not go back to education. So thanks to these teachers like Mrs. Mrabet, like Souli, like Silamjad, and all the rest. So thanks to these people, we could believe in a better future. Over to our other participants. So if you would like to say something, you could either use the chat box to write it or say it. Any more comments or remarks before we move on to our next speaker? There's the icon of raise. Yeah, go ahead.
I think that the colleagues can write their remarks in the chat box. Yeah. And since we're running short of time, I think now we have to bring in our second speaker. Actually, Mrs. Mrabet told us about challenging the comfort zone. I think now we can deal with another very important topic, which is not succumbing to despair and how to try to avoid burnout. And this is why I'm going to ask Mrs. Reem Ben Salem to share her experience with us. Madam, can you hear us? Madam Reem? I think your microphone is muted.
Unmute, Mrs. Ben Salem, unmute your microphone first and tell us if you're ready.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can. Great.
Nice.
I'm going to introduce you first, and then I'm going to give you the floor, okay?
Okay.
So, Mrs. Reem Ben Salem is a teacher of English at the Kabaria region, an under-resourced region, as many of you know. She has been teaching for over 20 years now. She ran different clubs and took part in many national and international events revolving mainly around integrating music and theater in teaching English. So as I said, Mrs. Ben Salem will focus in her talk on the topic of teacher burnout. So the floor is yours, madam.
Thank you. I'd like to greet everybody. to thank the team for the invitation. Special thanking goes to Mrs. Lamé and Mrs. Camelia. I'd like also to congratulate teachers on their International Teachers' Day, even though it's a little bit late. Also, I dedicate this meeting or this meeting to the soul of my father, who was himself a teacher and who told me once that teaching was art. Okay, well, I'd say I start with what makes me love this profession. So many factors contributed to make me love teaching. The first is that the social environment, my environment. I was born in a primary school. As I said, my father was a headmaster. And I grew up there for many years. Added to that, so many relatives, friends were devoted teachers. Okay? Many of my teachers who taught me in primary school or in secondary school were really a model to follow. I would name them Mr. Akrut, Mr. Alaya, Mrs. Berhe, Allah yarhamha, Sir, he's a teacher of English, okay, Sir Mr. Ahmed bin Yusuf. All this made me understand that teaching is a work of art, that teaching is love made invisible, and consequently, the influence of a good teacher can never be erased. So, another factor made me choose this profession was the profession itself. I find teaching a cute, amazing, and an impressive profession. I like to be with pupils. It's exciting to interact daily with teenagers who are energetic and enthusiastic. Teaching is different from any other profession. For example, a doctor has to deal with sick people who suffer, who are sad, and sickness means tears, pain. Same thing with lawyers who works with either victims or criminals. The atmosphere is miserable, not exciting at all, and which I hate most. As a child, my favorite moments were when I played the role of a teacher with my childhood friends who played the role of my pupils. I would say that something which may seem unusual or strange. When I was a pupil, my favorite pastime was preparing homework. I had never been reluctant to go to school, for it was like a funfair where I spent the most amusing moments. Besides, I think that teacher is not only a person who provides pupils with the necessary information. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Go ahead, please. Go ahead, please. We can hear you very well. Yeah,
yes.
Go ahead.
He is also a father, a mother, a friend, a doctor, a lawyer, a judge, and a psychologist. A teacher is someone on whom pupils lean for support and advice. They vow or they confess secrets which they can't tell to their closest friends or family members. So I chose the profession because I didn't want to grow up outside the school. I chose it because it would keep myself in the work I love most, and I still do. I chose it because it's noble. Fortunately, my dream has come true, thank God. Okay, now, why the teacher? As you know, that teaching is not an easy task. It's not an easy profession. So why do teachers burn out? They are tired and they're extremely tired, especially by the time when they grow old, they become more and more tired. What is the reason behind the teachers' burnout? So the first one is working excessively hard, preparing lessons, correcting tests. A teacher should be able to run a class, which is not an easy task. A teacher needs concentration in class to give a lesson appropriately. However, concentration is disturbed by the pupils' reluctance to work, so they made noise. Besides, unfriendly atmosphere among, that means the first one is working excessively hard. The second point is the unfriendly atmosphere among the staff, unfriendly and unpeaceful. The relationship between the teacher, his master, his colleagues, his deputy teacher, his supervisor is very important. If it's bad, it may lead to the burnout. The suffocating atmosphere doesn't facilitate the teacher's task. Consequently, it minimizes his enthusiasm. The third point is unfair inspector, which makes teaching a torture. It's really a torture, okay? And the fourth point that may lead to the personal problem, to the burnout, is personal problems. Example, family ones, husband and wife, irresponsible husband, problem with their own children, stubborn teenager, sickness. A teacher may suffer from some diseases like high blood tension, heart disease, and so on. All these factors lead to the teacher's burnout. Have I ever suffered from burnout? Yes, I personally endured burnout more than once. And some factors I mentioned earlier contributed to make my professional life a hell. Are you hearing me? Can you hear me?
Please go ahead. Yeah, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yes. Yes. Each time I felt I was losing my motivation, enthusiasm, consequently energy, I understood I was on the borders of depression or already being depressed. Being aware of that helped me a lot to overcome. But there must be factors, reasons, persons, something special to make the depressed teacher regain his energy and enthusiasm, and the factors change from one teacher to another. As for me, there are three factors that helped me a lot to overcome. First of all is my endless love to my job. No matter how discouraging or working condition, no matter how discouraging the working condition or how deep my personal problems are, I'm convinced that no other job can fit me because only teaching brings me the huge amount of happiness and joy, even though I may excel in doing other profession. I feel like I'm a fish who certainly will die once it's forced to live out its natural habitat. The second one is the inspectors, okay? Two inspectors, two persons in my life helped me a great deal, and I owe them a lot, too much, so much, because they have played an important role in my career. The first inspector is the brave Mr. Souli. I was assigned, I like him very much, I respect him, he is a model to follow. I was assigned to work in CAF in September 2000, and he was my inspector. At that time, are you hearing me? Hello?
Please go ahead. Please go ahead. Yeah.
Please make a sign or show a sign that you are hearing me. I was assigned to work in CAF in September 2000, and he was my inspector. At that time, I had to leave the capital where I was settled down. I left my husband and my 2-year-old baby. It was the first time I left him alone. It was a terrible, hard, and unbearable for me experience. It was unbearable for me that a mom left her baby. So I decided to abandon the post. I only attended the first meeting with our inspector. My tears were running unwillingly during the meeting. Then I talked to him when the meeting was over and told him about my pathetic experience with Mr. X, my previous inspector. I still remember Mr. Souli's words. Here I'm going to tell you to say the very words. He said to me, You will remain with us. You will regain your self-confidence and you will be extremely satisfied. His words made me make up my mind and take the reasonable decision and accept the challenge. I felt a huge amount of truth in his words, as if he told me, "Not, don't worry, and you had just to try, and you wouldn't regret it." Little by little, I forgot about my pain because I had a goal, an objective to achieve. It was not to get a good mark as a teacher on probation. I worked hard not to disappoint my inspector, not to disappoint my inspector Ali Souli. All I wanted was to make him feel proud of me because he awakened my enthusiasm and increased my self-confidence. I would admit that I behaved this way only with my father. Okay, the respect he had is the respect I owe to my father, who left earlier for a better word. He left too young. My father left too young. He was only 46, and I was only 12 years old. Up to this moment, I'm trying not to disappoint my father and not to disappoint Mr. Ali Souli, who lent me a helping hand. He has gained my love, my respect, my confidence, and above all, my gratitude, and he is worth it. Unfortunately, 3 years later, I had to leave El Kef and go back to Tunis. I was terribly frightened. Honestly, the inspectors there, I mean in Tunis, were my real terror. I'm sorry for the inspectors, but this is the truth. I was like a young baby who was afraid to go out without his mom. He answered calmly, but I asked Mr. Ali Souli, "Why don't you come with me? Why don't you move to Tunis, the capital?" He answered calmly as usual, "But I can't. I'm settled down in Cape and all my family is here." I felt as if he was sorry, for he was forced to let me down. I remember I was worried during the summer vacation. Who would be my inspector? How would he or she treat me? Would he or she be as competent and fair as Mr. Souli or not? Would I suffer one more time? I was just, I was like a young daughter who lost her mom and was afraid to meet her mother-in-law. And this is really what I felt. What I felt is true. I should admit that after God, thanks to Mr. Ali Souli, I'm still among the education staff. If he didn't help me, if he didn't give me a helping hand, maybe I could have chosen another profession. Obliged. Because he is brave, great, and humane, not only with the novice teacher, but also novice inspectors. I paid him tribute, and we gave him tribute. We paid him tribute during festival, arts festival, a festival founded by Mrs. Naima Sharfi, and she asked me to say hello to Mr. Ali Souli. Well, happily, my words faded away little by little when I moved to Tunis, though I missed Mr. Ali Souli meetings and care. I had worked for 11 years, and many factors contributed to lessen my enthusiasm again. At that time, teachers talked about a new inspector in the region. We heard nice things about her. Sorry, as a person and as an inspector. Really, we envied them. We envied the teacher, okay, because of their inspector. 1 year later, our inspector retired, and she became ours. And here came the second person who made a total change in my career. She is Mrs. Naima Sharfi, the great Naima Sharfi. The first time we met, she wanted to break the ice and asked us to introduce ourselves and wanted to know about our expectation. I simply told her I wanted to retire. She laughed her magical laugh. It was later that I discovered the secret was her smile, her laugh. Every time we met, we get closer and closer. Something made me admire her more and more. I felt secure and safe. Please beware of these words, secure and safe. We need teachers to be secure and safe, which was really needed at that time. She didn't waste time and started talking about open days and other activities. The idea was impressive and I showed my interest. Personally, are you hearing me? Hello?
Please go ahead. Yeah.
Yes. Personally, I organized a conference on children's rights. I invited a lawyer, a doctor, two social assistants, and colleagues. The conference was open to all pupils and their parents. My 8th graders decided to perform a play too, entitled Children's Rights. It was their idea, and a talented pupil wrote the play. She was only 13 years old at that time, and she is first year prepa this year. Then Mr. Sharfi told us about her dream. Her dream was a festival, and she wanted it to come true. Personally, I was excited. I like festivals. And the dream that has come true was a turning point in my career. We founded Arts Festival, a 3-day festival with pupils for pupils as well as for teachers. They had the opportunity to show their talent, to express themselves. The festival is a competition in drama, poetry, music, painting, clay modeling, writing, performing stand-ups, slams, prose, translation, writing film scenarios, realizing others. Teachers on their turn presented their projects. One colleague, friend, Amira Azim, worked on teachers' burnout. Mrs. Sharfi was always looking for good ideas because she believes in the students' potential. She paved the way for teachers and the pupils. She paved the way for teachers and pupils to Carthage Poetic Days. Teachers and pupils were happy, excited, and enjoyed what they did. As for me, my pupils and I participated in the various activities and won prizes in arts festivals in the 4th editions and the prizes in Carthage Poetic Days in its two edition. It's unfair to say that I succeeded because I'm creative and talented. I couldn't do anything without my pupils. So my pupils played a great role in helping me overcome my burnout, my depression, everything. My pupils had a great role in making regain my enthusiasm. It's a mutual help. I helped them to excel, and they helped me to heal up. Apart from the conference, they encouraged me to run a club. The first club I ran was about learning disabilities. And we worked on dyslexia, bullying, and many other topics. We even presented a member of the club. She was only 14 at that time. She wrote a play on dyslexia, and the pupils they performed it during the festival. And of course, we won prizes. Okay. I also presented demonstration lessons with my 8th graders who became my 9th graders the following year. They themselves, but our best achievement was Scholar Gift Club. Scholar Gift Club is a pupils charity founded by pupils for the pupils. The charity's aim is to make pupils teach each other either face to face or through virtually through Facebook group. They teach all subjects, not only English. Another objective of the charity is to help parents who are short of time and come back home exhausted, so unable to take care of their children's education, and the parents who are lacking in money to afford the necessary money for the extra hours. The idea came when we were the idea of founding Scholar Gift Club, the charity, came when I was teaching module 6, lesson 4. It's about association clubs and charities. The founder were they were teenagers. That means they have the age of my pupils, 14, 15. Okay, they all. I asked them if they wanted to found their own charity. As you know, I told them it's easy. It's not difficult. They shouted yes. What shall we do? Where shall we start? It was then we started hiving. You can't imagine how great our happiness was, and how enthusiastic we became. To our surprise, our project, that means the charity, was chosen to represent Tunis 1 in the Euro-Arab dialogue with UNESCO Berlin. The media covered our performance. Teenagers as they were overwhelmed. We spent years together working, and all the participants in art festival or Campus Poetic Days were under the name of Scholar Gift Club, because the founders in the prep school, we founded it when my pupils were in the prep school, and then they went to secondary school. Now they were at university. They are still with me, and they are still preparing and waiting to perform. Because the founders, they went to the high school now, and they remained members of the Scholar Gift Club. We made it to the top, and even during the COVID-19 confinement, they rehearsed online, waiting things to clear up. The funds are at university now and are still ready and willing to stand by me and work together. I would like to thank my pupils, غفران الرزقي, أريج مزوغي, ميسا زرق العيون, خليل حبيبي, رضوان بوفتح, سلمى الزيتون, أسامة خلفاوي, and tell them they are precious to me and that I miss them a lot and love them so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Ben Salem. Really an interesting experience. True words, and you've talked about your experience. Frankly, that's quite normal in our life. We go through ups and downs, and we have twists and turns. We may face many challenges as teachers. What is great is that we do not give up, and we keep trying, and we give the real version of who we are. So you've went through a period of burnout like many other teachers, but thank God you managed to overcome that, and you moved, and you brought the real version. You brought the real Arim Ben Salem, and you started again inspiring your students, and maybe doing and giving your best version. So thank you, Mrs. Ben Salem. I think over to Siali and other participants if they would like to say a few words.
I can't see him.
Hello, Si Habib. Can you hear me?
Hello, Souli. Yeah.
Well, I'd like to thank Mrs. Reem bin Salem Shahar. I'm very glad to hear her voice again. And I'd like
Me
to
too.
say, bravo, well done, thank you. Keep going on. I only did my job when I welcomed you to Al-Kaf, and I hope, and I'm sure that most of my colleagues are fair persons who are respecting the ethics, the professional ethics. Of course, the exception, you know, that there are exceptions everywhere. And I hope that Mrs. Reem bin Salem will forget about that bitter experience she had before she came to Al-Kaf. And I'd like to say hello again, Mrs. Reem bin Salem Shahar, and hope to see you one of those days. Okay, thank you.
Inshallah. I miss you a lot, sir. I miss you a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you, Souli. I think our colleague, Mrs. Camilla Vifalla Zorgati, you're on board. Over to you, Mrs. Camilla. Just unmute your microphone.
Hello. Hello. Can you hear me?
Hello. Better late than never, Mrs. Camilla.
Yes, I'm sorry because I had technical issues. I couldn't log in, and then I couldn't even send messages to say hi when I managed to log in by the end. So it just says I'm not a member of the chat. I couldn't do anything. Okay, thank God. Finally,
here.
I
don't
just
know.
could join.
What have you
I don't
done,
know what's
Mrs.
happened tonight.
Atwi?
I don't know. I had a problem with connection and then with the chat. I can't even type and say hi. I don't know what happened. Oh, this is the most important webinar for me because I would see Mr. Ali Souli, but I don't know. I just feel unlucky. Okay, thank you all for joining us, for joining this webinar. Heartfelt thanks to all the presenters or speakers, and special thanks to Souli for attending the webinar with us. Special thanks for Reem as well. I would say the emotional Reem. I met her only once and during the festival with Mrs. Naima, and she was crying, remember?
Yes,
Yes.
when we pay tribute to Mr. Ali Souli.
Yeah, you're so sensitive and kind. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
I will watch the recording later and concentrate with the other colleagues because I missed the beginning. Okay, I'm sure that they all shared great experiences as they are all great teachers who are dedicated and empathetic and have great skills and had great work with their students. I'm sure of that. I watch this later. There is a recording. Yes, colleagues.
Mrs. Zorgari, you're certainly the kind of person who can tell us an anecdote about Souli. I've mentioned that at the beginning, at the outset of this session, I've talked about the inspectors who've been to work in the Kef area from 2010 to 2015. You're one among them. So could you maybe give us one of the anecdotes?
Okay, there are so many stories actually. But I would tell you about the first time we met. Okay, let me first say that Ali Souli is, I don't know, he behaves like a sort of father, as Mrs. Reem thinks or feels. Yes, he is just an epitome of a great inspector, a perfect example, really. I learned a lot from him at all levels, actually, and I can never thank him enough for his support. I owe him so much. Okay, I just, as I said, there are so many stories, but I remember the very first time we met Souli. My husband, Allah Yarham, was with us, and Souli met us at the very first roundabout of Al-Kaf, and he took us to the Regional Education Board and all around the city, actually, but in the Regional Education Board, we went to almost all the offices there just to get acquainted with the people, as I was new when he was presenting me. And my husband was so tired. And he never said that actually, but he said, what a man, he's almost at 50 and I couldn't even walk and he is so active. Oh my God. And we were laughing for that. How Souli was so so active and energetic, walking around and showing us all the people, and we got really tired. But that was really a great quality for Souli, actually. I just say just pray, may Allah protect him and reward him with all the blessings he really deserves, all the blessings that life can unfold for him, inshallah. Thank you, Sally. Thank you so much. We owe you a lot, all of us. All colleagues must have learned a lot from you.
Thank you,
Yes,
Mrs.
yes,
Ghali. Mr. Lamjad, Mr. Lamjad, over to you.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I would like to thank Mrs. Ben Salem for the genuine, honest, true, straightforward account of her teaching experience. I really, it was really very touching because it was so true, so genuine, so real. And I thank her for that. I think that burnout is something common among teachers, but they are not aware of it as a concept or as a problem. Burnout is simply when teachers lose satisfaction and pleasure in what they are doing. They no longer find teaching rewarding and inspiring. And what I'd like to draw attention to is that burnout is not an individual problem. We as inspector and all stakeholders and policy maker, we have to address it as a systemic institutional issue. So we should not leave teacher to their individual fate. I mean, we have to address this, and maybe we have to schedule it as one of our topics. We discuss it and we find ways to help teacher overcome this problem. Thank you again, Mrs. Ben Salem. It's a wow.
Thank you, Silamjad. Thank you, Mrs. Ben Salem. Thank you, Mrs. Camilla Zorgari. I think we're conscious of time, so we'd like to introduce our next speaker, Mrs. Monjia Nasri. Are you still with us? Mrs.
Yes,
Nasri?
I am. Yes, I am.
Great. So it's a real pleasure to introduce. It's a real pleasure to introduce you before giving you the platform.
Yes,
it's
Donna
a real
is mine indeed. Yeah.
Thank you. It's a real pleasure to introduce you to our participants. Mrs. Monjia Nasri is a veteran teacher who has been in the ALT profession for more than 25 years. I think she has a similar experience like Mrs. Leila Mrabet. She took part recently, she has taken part in an online course entitled Life Skills, delivered by the British Council. Today, she's going to shine a light on the topic of the importance of building good rapport to engage students in learning. For those who don't know Mrs. Nasri, she's a kind teacher. She knows how to build good rapport and good maybe connects with her students on more than one level, and she succeeds in that very well. So over to you, Mrs. Nasri. If you could share, if you could share your maybe your slides. If you couldn't, I'll do that for you.
I prefer that not to waste time, that you do that, and we'll be
okay
on page.
Okay, it's my pleasure. Just give me a few seconds. Can you see now my screen?
Yes.
Not yet. Yes, your screen, yes.
Great.
But the presentation, not yet.
Yeah.
It's there. We see the PowerPoint.
It's full screen right now. So over to you, Mrs. Nasri. Would love to hear from you about your experience and your journey into teaching.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. إن الله لا يغير ما بقوم حتى يغيروا ما بأنفسهم. صدق الله العظيم. Okay, so my journey into teaching, aspire to inspire before you expire. Today you are here. Tomorrow the opportunity will definitely be not. So good evening, everyone. So steering committee, you are great, you are inspiring, you are really proud of us. Okay, teachers of English in Tunisia. You know that during the first, first school closure worldwide, I was watching, webinars, done in Europe, in America, and then suddenly I heard about yours, so I was very happy about that. It's really a success, okay, to be congratulated on. Okay, then, special thanks go to Mr. Habib Sherni. Okay, I cannot thank you enough for your non-stop help and assistance. Okay, special greetings, of course, to the great Mr. Ali Souli. And here I cannot find, more expressive words than the leader's words, the great Mahatma Gandhi. My wisdom flows from the highest source. I salute that source in you. Okay, my pupils. Okay, they are my whole, of course. My colleagues, whether, my colleagues Tunisia, my colleagues worldwide. Okay, we are one, we are indivisible. I take the best version in you. Okay. Then, the second slide, please, Mr. Shirley. Okay, then I will focus on something very important, which is hard skills are essential, soft skills are not less important. Okay, here I add the emotional assessment scale, which is very needed to everyone, especially that we are living great changes all over the world. It's like assessing your physical health, assessing blood pressure, assessing sugar pressure in your blood. You have to assess your emotional level where you are, and then we are going to see how can we assess that, and how can we how can we be saved before it's too late. It's a real career experience. It's just an ordinary experience, but still we can learn from it. It's a road, of course, like anyone. Life is a path. Life is a bridge that we go through. So it's a road with its ups and downs, turns and twists, and what matters is the end, that we reach light. We reach the end of the tunnel. Yes. The second slide, please, Mr. Habib Sherni. Of course, the story started. So here I introduce myself again. I'm Miss Monjia Nasri. It's important to mention my age. No harm in that. Last May I turned 51. So I taught in Qarat Snen, prep school, my hometown. Then now I'm a teacher. I've been teaching in Ahmed Amar Secondary School for 11 years now. So more than half my career so far was spent in Qarat Snen prep school. So memories there that I learned from them. Back to 1996, a student taught in an audiolingual classroom is back to her hometown to teach the communicative skills. And you know, here the audiolingual classroom, for the younger colleagues, maybe they don't know about that. It's okay, drilling, okay, grammar taught, okay, almost out of context, reading in text, not beyond just surface questioning, then memorizing. Then you come to teach, okay, language in context, group work, okay, pair work, and all these skills, these hard skills. Of course, as a beginner, I stumbled and stumbled, and of course, there the hand there, okay, to lift us all those trainees. We were more than 35 at that time, okay. And thanks to my inspect's professionalism and help of colleagues, I managed to find my way through. What it means by I managed to find my way through? That is, I learned those, okay, hard skills that were instrumental indeed to make things go, okay? Yes, then I was, okay, punctual. I built, okay, experience, okay, integrity, but year by year. So those things, okay, Mr. Okay, Habib Sherni, can you move to the second slide, please? The second slide, please. Slide. Mr. Habib Sherni, second slide, please. Thank you very much. Okay, so those things, okay, which are, okay, not, okay, they are important, they are basic, okay, they are instrumental. We cannot do without them. Hard work, perseverance, job is a priority, being punctual, okay, integrity. But these things are not enough to make you out of your comfort zone, okay? You need something more, you need a push indeed. So, comfort zone here, okay? Okay, I advise every colleague to read about comfort zone. Perhaps if they just see the word here, the comfort, it means, okay, that it means lazy, means doing nothing. No, it's not that. It's not that you are not a good teacher, but comfort zone is you are just living in that routine. You are becoming like a machine, okay? And you know that at the heart of this of the age of technology, our pupils are digital natives. They can replace you easily. And you know that today, many pupils are reading alone. Okay, technology has taken over us, okay? So many pupils don't come to school and then they succeed. They get their back certificate. They get higher, okay, marks, but they still, okay, perhaps they miss things they will discover later by not coming to school, but they didn't fail to get a good mark. So we have to do something. So meanwhile, what happened? Meanwhile, it happened that I lived hard times. So I am well equipped with hard skills, but personally, I lived hard times. So let's see whether I can go, okay, in that comfort zone, whether I can get out easily. I was aware that my job was a priority, and thanks God, but hard skills weren't enough. I relied then on my emotional intelligence, and then my soft skills were there, okay? Yes, second slide, please, second slide. Thank you very much. Now, my emotional intelligence, okay, the emotional, okay, you know that, okay, as we taught, and perhaps many of us learned with them, okay, our first year learners, that we have 6 types of intelligence. Okay, they are the mechanic, the okay, physical, the social, and then we have okay, the emotional scale, the emotional intelligence, sorry. So here, okay, thanks God, I have a high emotional intelligence, and I needed it that time. So look here, what is the emotional scale? Here, look at, okay, then everyone, if you look, if you dig deeper, if you look, you will find yourself there. Every one of us now can find himself there. So at that time, I was quite at the bottom. So, you know, I can say I lived, okay, doubt. I doubted even myself as a good teacher. And I was, a whole turmoil in my head, especially the years I spent as a teacher in Qalassan Prep School, where my relatives, my neighbors were there. So I was always asking the question whether I was a good teacher, whether I added something to them. I know that many of them, have succeeded in their lives, but I asked the question, did I touch their lives? Did I prepare them for this world? Did I, equip them enough to face difficulties? What will they remember from me? Will they remember just the English lessons I taught them? So, and here, I lived, doubt. I lived, some jealousy. Why not? Let's be frank. So I lived, guilt. I felt guilty. So always a whole turmoil. Then, I found it easier to get up. Never go down. Go up. And here, thanks God. So the emotional scale here, you are the leader of your own choice. Perhaps it is not a disease. It is not an illness. It's not a virus. So here you are the leader of your own choice. With faith. With hope. With other people that they never failed to lend a hand, to be patient with you. Yes, there are people, who were patient with me. They never let me down. Then I managed to get out of that, yellow, there, the space there. I got up, to encouragement, to hope, to optimism. Then the next slide, please.
You are there.
Thank you. Of course, you are not alone. I say to Mrs. Reem Biselm, you are never alone. Good people are everywhere. Just be hopeful. Just surround yourself with good people. Just avoid toxic people. So then, many thanks. I will always be grateful to Mr. Habib Sherni, who enrolled me in that course, the British Council online course entitled Core Skills, So, and I advise everyone, I think that today, it's a must, it's never a choice. So every adult, in every rank of society, teachers, doctors, nurses, anyone, students, parents, everyone has to read about the core skills, and if he finds the opportunity, he has to learn them, from experts. The core skills here I can mention, they are communication, leadership, citizenship. Let's say, here, if Mr. Habib Shali can help me with these core skills, we have leadership, communication, citizenship, then we have service and, these hard skills, these soft skills. No, I need them later, yeah. The previous slide, please. The previous slide, please.
Yeah, this one?
Then the core skills. No, the second one, the second slide.
Next one, yeah.
The next one, yes.
This one?
The next one. The next one.
Yeah, you are already there. Do you
Before.
mean the...
No, before that one. Before that one. There is something before, in between.
I'm afraid these are the only slides that I have.
Yes. The comfort zone.
Yeah,
pyramid.
the pyramid.
After the pyramid.
Yeah.
After the pyramid. No
Yeah,
problem. No, who and what helped me? No problem. No problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, here it is it. Okay, then, the core skills. I have to be the leader of my own choice. I chose to be a teacher. I am the only adult person in the classroom. I'm facing a new generation. So if I feel in my position, or I leave, So two roads here diverge. Okay, I have to choose. Okay, so there is nothing in between. Okay, and okay, here then. Meanwhile, I was so emotionally intelligent. I surrounded myself with happy teachers. I never needed toxic ones then. I surrounded myself with happy teachers. Okay, they were helpful. And here I cannot, I cannot forget to mention Mr. Lotfi bin Zaid, the happiest teacher in the world. Yes, and I can never, forget his messages that he is sending every day. So if teaching for you is a headache, if you are going to keep nagging, if you are going to keep complaining, so definitely it's not your cup of tea. So Mr. Lotfi bin Zaid, a great inspiration of every one of us. So here I can mention, of course, Mr. Mr. Riyad Quba, yes, my brother, my asset, who never failed to give me a hand. And you know that last year, it was the first year that I taught back, students, and he was by my side. He was very helpful. We were twin partners. We worked. We had we watched webinars together. We prepared lessons. He was really a great asset. So I congratulate him. A teacher of English in the whole Tunisia to be proud of, and he is a good representative, an ambassador of us all. When it comes to worldwide webinars. Then I can never forget my colleagues at school. Yes, they are part of me. They are my nuclear community. I take what is positive in them. Why not? So let's spread positive vibes. I can say it. No harm. What will happen to me if I tell my colleague Afef Usleti, you are number one at test preparation. So if she can't this term, so next term I tell her, if it's for the benefit of my pupils. I know that this lady is I call her the expert in test preparation. We learn from her. Why not take the opportunity? Let's not be jealous of others. Let's admit realities. Yes, every one of us is good at something. Let's benefit from others. It's a message to teachers in every school. Please, get up. Things are taken over us. We are not the only source of knowledge. Believe me. So just wake up. That's a dream. You are dreaming that you are the only source of knowledge. So our students, some of our students, are better than us in pronunciation. For example, so I admit last year I had a pupil, Farah Rabi. Yes, Farah Rabi, who who managed to make an excellent video, and I shared it via our group, and she was amazing. She was better than many teachers, many of us. So please, it's time. It's high time. Yes, it's high time, and it's high time to understand that the success in every school is a teamwork. So it's success of the community. So please get out of your island. So just open the door and get out of your comfort zone. Yes, and why not be a happy teacher? Then I cannot forget to mention Mr. Muad al-Bakhtri, a teacher and now an administrator in Kirwan school, and he is helping me with documents. I ask for a test sample, he sends me 70. Imagine. Then comes the great teacher. I call him global teacher, global citizen, Randall Davis, and his cyber learning lab. So Randall, is a teacher at Utah Language Institute of Education, Culture and Human Development. So imagine that Randall. If you write him a simple message, Randall, I need a listening for my first year pupils. So on the spot, he sends you a listening passage, and he asks you about your students' age, your students' level, and there they call it intermediate, beginners, advanced, and then he asks you about the feedback. And I will tell an anecdote here. So once a listening passage about neighbors, and okay, Randall was playing the role, okay, and he okay, that to okay, build good relationship with your neighbor, okay, take some cookies, visit them. Then one of my pupils told me, cookies? So my neighbor would never love cookies. He like a dish of couscous. So when I told Randall about that, so he told me that's culture. You are there, okay? So language is not, okay, there are times when language was out of context, just a system to be taught were over, and now language should be taught within its context. It's a human development. You are building, okay, people, you are building future generation. It's a whole, okay, it's language, it's culture, it's a human development, it's building future generation, future women, future gentlemen. You are there. It's your opportunity, okay, to touch their lives, to touch their hearts, and then they are going to be in your hands. Yes, and I invite every colleague to listen to that song in your hands. Okay. Yes, I'm very grateful to everyone. I love and respect everyone. I am really a happy teacher now. So being a happy teacher doesn't automatically mean being a happy person. So hopefully you are all happy people. Hopefully we are all happy moms, happy dads, happy neighbors. Okay, but okay, what concerns us, what we are getting money, we are paid. So when we go to the bank, no one is unhappy to go to the bank and to get his wage. Okay, so please, so be a happy teacher and pass it on. Yes, pass it on. You are there. Okay, okay, play the role. Play it. If it is not real, okay, play it. Okay, show it. Okay, you can keep a distance. Why not? And here, okay, it's a question of time. So I invite my colleagues to read, please read. Okay, read about relationships. So keeping a distance must be there. But please, okay, don't wear masks. Okay, don't hide your potential. Okay, don't be mean. Don't be selfish. Okay, be open. Have an open mindset. Okay. Okay, take care of your mindfulness. Read about mindfulness, what is meant by being mindful. And here, what also helped me is reading. Okay, reading articles. Okay, reading about teaching, about okay, human development. Reading about okay, children's psychology. Reading about teenagers. Read, please. The more you read, the smarter you get. Yes, and watching videos. Yes, and I tell myself just 5 or 7 minutes a video about happy teachers, about classroom practice, about classroom activities. Okay, and I usually tell myself a video a morning, a video afternoon will make me smarter very soon. Okay, read, watch videos, be open. Okay, then okay, we move to the next slide.
Okay. Yeah, the last one is about
yes,
hard
the
skills.
next slide, please.
Yeah, you are.
Okay, the last slide. And which is last. Yes, Mr. Habib Sherni.
I think you're already there,
yes.
Mrs.
Okay,
Nasri.
the last slide. Yes, I am here, but I thought you have something to say. Yes. Okay. No, not
the one before.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
This
yes.
one.
Yes.
Okay.
No, hard skills and soft ones. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So hard skills. Okay, the last but not the least. Okay, definitely. Okay, so hard skills are there. So be careful. They are important. They are basic. So they refer to teachable skills or job-specific abilities that can be quantified. That can be graded. You can get a grade. You can get a high grade. You can be assessed on that. Yes. Okay, there are experts, there are people whose job is to do that. Okay, so job specific abilities. Okay, any job, but what concerns us is teaching. Okay, refer to teachable skills or job specific abilities that can be quantified or measured. Okay, and parents, okay, inspectors, experts, administrators. They have okay, they are keeping a watch on this. Okay, for them, a good teacher is someone, okay, but okay, in today's times, they are also aware of another skill, which is the soft one, soft skills. They refer to an individual's social ability and how they relate to and interact with other people. These are the soft skills that I invite all my colleagues to read about, okay, to discover. Yes, and to, okay, they can be learned. They are not, you are not, okay, yes, some of them are genetic. Let's say some families have the habit of smiling, of having good relationships with people. Other ones are introverts, but in today's no way, you can learn them. You can learn new habits. You can adapt yourself to the changes. Yes, why not? You can draw a smile. Okay, you can knock doors. You can communicate, okay, with people. Okay, if that will help you, if that will make you a better teacher, thus, okay, you are going to build a better generation. Yes. Okay, thank you very much for your listening. Okay, hopefully we are all going to be happy, to be balanced. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mrs. Nasri. It was really an insightful presentation, and I mean, I hope that all colleagues will follow your advice and uh, as Elaine Chatbot saying, fake it till you make it, and you know that nobody can pour from an empty glass, so we need to take care of our mental health, of our well-being. It's really very important. So thank you very much, Madam Nasri, for shining a light on that. I think because we're running short of time and Mrs. Hayfa Majdoub has been waiting patiently. Thank you, Madam. So we're going to bring her in. Then introduce Mrs. Majdoub. Yeah, hello, Madam.
It's my pleasure.
Okay, I'm going to introduce Mrs. Majdoub. She is a senior EFL teacher with more than 15 years of experience. She holds a master's degree in instructional technology. She is passionate about teaching and edtech. She's a Microsoft Innovative Educator expert, trainer, and Etwinning ambassador. And Mrs. Majdoub will, deal with another part of how to reignite motivation for teaching, and she's going to tell us how to level up our skills through international collaboration. Over to you, Mrs. Majdoub.
Thank you, Mrs. Atwi, and thank you to all the guests, especially Mr. Ali Souli, whom I didn't have the opportunity to meet or nor to work with. So I'd like to start my talk today with wishing a very happy World Teachers Day to all the teachers who have helped me shape my life in so many different ways. And I'll basically start by saying that as you presented as an Etwinning ambassador and an Etwinner, so probably many of you don't know about Etwinning, but I will clarify that later. So my talk will be mostly based on my experience as an Etwinner and as an Etwinning ambassador. And so my talk will be planned as the following. So I will be talking about collaboration and the importance of collaboration, the benefits of collaboration in leveling up our teaching, and the challenges that we may face while trying and through our journey into collaboration. And I will share with you some of the recommendations through my experience as an Etwinner and a teacher who has the opportunity to collaborate with teachers from Tunisia and from other countries. So I'll start by saying that according to the 2013 Teaching and Learning International Survey, teachers who collaborate more frequently are the ones who use innovative teaching practices more often in their classroom. And they are people who find themselves more confident and effective in their teaching. They are more satisfied with their jobs. So teacher collaboration occurs when educators work together to increase students' learning and achievement. And there are many possible ways. They could work in teams, they could share responsibilities, provide feedback to each other, and build trust. So Etwinning, as I said earlier, is a community that promotes school collaboration in Europe through the use of information and communication technology by providing support, by providing tools and services for schools, and it offers opportunities for free and continuing online professional development for educators. It was launched in 2005 as the main action of the European Commission and co-founded by the Erasmus+, and Tunisia has joined the program since 2013 and counts a number of more than nearly 900 affiliated schools and more or over 2,200 educators who are affiliated in Etwinning. So one of the most important elements of Etwinning is collaboration among teachers, among students, among schools, even parents collaborate, local authorities also collaborate. In Etwinning, teachers work together and organize activities for their students. They have an active role. I mean, teachers and students have active roles. They interact, they investigate, they make decisions, they respect each other and learn 21st century skills. Etwinning projects involve the contribution of each member of the team. Lately collaboration has been enhanced by the easy access to technology and by social media networks, where educators join personal learning networks. This helped teachers find the intrinsic motivation to get together with other colleagues and do some collaborative activities. That's not to neglect, of course, the role of workshops or in-person training sessions where teachers are invited and join and collaborate. What I'm saying is that the access to technology made it more convenient for us teachers to connect with other colleagues in personal learning networks, that's the PLN, on social media. It also made it easier to access professional learning communities like Etwinning. So PLNs and PLCs that are professional learning, personal learning networks and professional learning communities both provide effective methods of teacher collaboration, and that results in a better student engagement and achievement, but also professional growth for educators. So teacher, as I said, collaboration is beneficial as educators exchange and share resources, share expertise, share information and ideas on certain topics. Teachers get more creative and innovative, trying new approaches, improving their teaching methods, and the teachers' professional growth will have an impact on their institutions and the institutions where they teach. And those who collaborate would feel less isolated. They would help their colleagues with the same institution or elsewhere. And when teachers feel supported, they can better extend that same support to other colleagues and to their students. Let's not forget that we are an invaluable source of support to each other, and that would help us thrive in our exhausting and emotionally draining profession. During our quest for collaboration, we could stumble upon some obstacles, and the challenge could be that you are a solo teacher and you are not part of a professional learning community. Then you might not feel committed so as to engage in some collaborative activities. The lack of planning in collaboration might be an obstacle for an effective collaboration as well. The lack of cooperation within a collaboration, or the lack of time to focus on working together could be some failing factors for collaboration. There's also the psychological challenge. Teachers apprehend being judged, so they might not feel like to engage in a collaboration. Personality conflicts within a team also could be a handicap to an effective and fruitful collaboration. And now to make sure that we have an effective collaboration and you have an effective collaboration, we should bear in mind that we will face some challenges and adopt some strategies that could help us overcome those challenges. So teacher readiness is important. It shouldn't be an obligation. So teachers should be volunteering for that kind of activity. Setting mutual goals and shared vision with all partners within that collaborative activity is important, as it will help attain your goals at the end. Explicitly share what you expect from your partners, determine the time and the energy you put into collaboration. Building relationship with your partners will help foster a sense of community based on trust and respect, and teachers would feel a sense of ownership, a sense of belonging to that community, which would make them work even more. Set a communication plan if you are working with some international, even if you are not working with national or international partners, you need to set a communication plan, make some regular meetings, listen to your partners, see what if there are problems or obstacles that are facing them, talk about it and discuss it. If you work with international partners, then you need to exchange your school calendars and identify pressure points and quiet points. And I mean by that the periods of exams and the periods of holidays, and be flexible because plans may have to change. So be ready for that change. And if it's your first experience in collaboration with national or with international partners, then start with a simple and quick activity. I would not keep you longer, but I would like to conclude with a hope to see more and more teachers collaborating and going out of their comfort zone. And just a reminder that collaboration is not only a set of skills, but also a mindset. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, thank you, Mrs. Majdoub. You've certainly mentioned something which is at the heart of teaching, which is collaboration between colleagues. I think Mrs. Nasri has hinted at that. She talked about the help and the support of her colleagues, and she mentioned some names. We're not alone in this profession, and if we do not collaborate, if we do not share, we cannot, of course, succeed the way we see success, or the way we like things to happen. Over to Souli or Amjad or to Mrs. Lameh, to Camelia or and the other participants. I think Mrs. Monjia Al-Agharbi is raising her hand. So over to you, Mrs. Agharbi.
Good evening.
Good evening,
everybody. I just want to thank all the participants and welcome Mr. Ali Souli, whom I miss very much. So I'm very happy and I feel blessed to work with almost all of you. Salem also, Salem Jabidi is here also. I want to greet and thank him for, he was my first inspector in Syriana. And of course, Mrs. Camelia as well. She is inspirational, and she was a great support to me in CAF area. And Mr. Ali, of course, whom I miss very much, and who didn't miss any invitation of mine to come to honor me in my events and the open days. And I know that he is waiting for more, and he is my support up to now. I do thank you very much. I can't thank you enough, Mr. Ali, for your support, and Mrs. Camelia as well, and all of you. I also, I've been honored also to meet Mrs. Lama since 2017, and now that I am working with Mr. Habib Sherni, I'm very glad and honored and grateful to all of you. I want to thank all the participants, and mainly Mrs. Reem and Mrs. Nasri. You are really doing what you are saying. And, I still remember you when you came to congratulate me in that open day, 2018, maybe 2019, I don't know. And you were very happy and excited just to attend with me the open day without being invited, because I didn't know you before. So thank you again. And I want to say that teaching is not the best job, yeah, and it is very tiring and but enjoyable. Having the time to talk and listen to youngsters share their dreams and their huge achievements, witnessing with them their happiness, and it's a sweet mixture of pride and happiness as a teacher, between responsibilities and duty towards students. It is not only in achieving success in their studies, but also to develop and witness evolution in their personal life. Teachers do not only teach and impart knowledge, but inspire students to take challenges and further steps in their life. So being a teacher helped me discover myself and inner potentials, in soft skills, as Mrs. Nasri have said. And to be a teacher is to be the student's mother, father, supervisor, guide, sometimes a good mother, in fact. That made me feel proud of myself, because they chose me, and they didn't turn to anyone else to unveil their secrets. And I witnessed many many secrets and many deep feelings inside my students, and that's the spice of our job. It is not only about teaching and feeding them knowledge, but it is to touch their hearts. And that was a good reason for all of us to be proud and to be happy and to be self-satisfied, seeing them grateful to what they witnessed with us in the classroom and even outside. So I'm here to tell you that I'm happy because I am a teacher, and I'm happy because I belong to this great community. Thank you to all of you. Thank you, and I'm very proud and grateful to you all. Thank you, my colleagues. Thank you, my dear friends. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Agarbi. Over to Mrs. Hamimi. Mrs. Najwa Hamemi, so unmute your
Hello.
microphone. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Chair. Hello, all my colleagues. Happy Teachers' Day, and I'm happy. Do you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you very well.
You
So
hear
please
me?
go ahead. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, please
Do you
go
hear
ahead.
me,
Yeah.
please? Yes. So it's a technical problem. Yes. Okay. I'm sorry for the technical. Yes, Mr. Sherry, do you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, Mr. Sherry, Mr. Souli. Hello. How are you? I'm happy to see you again. I'm very happy, Mr. Souli, to see you again. And yes, I'm grateful. Yes, I'm very grateful to you in my career, in the beginning of my career. And I'm proud to be with all your session of training in the KIT area. Okay, so I'm very proud to see you. Thank you for all. Yes, yes, Mr. Sheni, you hear me?
Yes, please. Yes, please go ahead. Yeah. It looks you're.
Yes, okay. Thank you for this occasion to speak about with my colleagues and especially to Mr. Ali Souli. Okay, so.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Hamemi. Over to you, Si Ali.
Okay.
All right. Can you all hear me now?
Yeah, great. Go
Okay,
ahead, please.
great. Well, I'd like to say it's been a great pleasure listening to all of you and then enjoying the presentations made by senior teachers of English, really. Camelia joined a little bit late, but it's never too late, better late than never. And I was glad to hear her voice and to hear everything she said about me. I'd like to thank all of you, Habib Sherni, ريم بن سالم شعار, لمجد العبيدي, Camelia, then everybody taking part. Excuse me, I'm a little bit being emotional right now. I'd like to thank all of you and just to say something to Mrs. Majdoub. It's just, if you like, joke, because we want not to be very serious all the time, you see, so a joke is necessary. So I'd like to tell Mrs. Majdoub, had you been a few years older, then you would have certainly met me at École Normale Supérieure de Tunis, you and Lamjid Labidi. Of course, I had the pleasure to meet Lamjid because he is my colleague, my younger colleague, but then Mrs. Majdoub, I know you're doing a very good job, you and all the others. Mrs. Nasri, it's been like a renewed pleasure to listen to you, make that nice presentation. The same thing with Mrs. Hayfa. Sorry, I got confused, Mrs. Hayfa Majdoub, then Mrs. Monjia Nasri, Miss Leila Mrabet, sorry. My remark was meant to, concerning Mrs. Leila Mrabet, who is a former Normalienne, if you like, from Sousse. And I'd like to thank all of you, and I don't want to be that long. Thank you very much. It's been a good opportunity and a good occasion to listen to all of you. I couldn't see you on the screen, but I hope a face-to-face, let's say, meeting will be possible some of those days. In the meantime, I'd like to say, take care, keep safe, and hope to see you soon, all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Si Ali. Yeah, over to you. I think, yeah, Si Lamjid, okay? Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Habib. Well, I'd like to thank the organizer of the U-innovate for this opportunity you gave me to listen to these 4 exceptional teachers.
Yes.
I think they are examples of teacher with growth mindset. They are models to follow by other teachers and get inspired by. I thank them for the accounts they gave today, and I'd like to ask for their permission to use their presentation or their encounters with the teacher I work with. They are going to be used as models for teachers who act, teachers who do, teachers who act, who take action rather than wait or complain or withdraw. Thank you very much for what you gave today. Thank you.
Thank you, Salamjit. Just I'm going to read. There's a poem by Paula J. Fox. I'm not going to read all the poem. I'm just going to read the last 2 stanzas. A teacher with a heart for her children knows what teaching is all about. She may not have all the answers, but on this she has no doubts. When asked which subjects she loved to teach, she answered this way and smiled. It's not the subjects that matter, it's all about teaching the child. This poem is worth reading, is a great one. It talks about the heart of a teacher. You all talked about different parts of teaching. The analogy here of the iceberg may fit. We all see few things, the tip of the iceberg of teaching. We never see collaboration, we never see emotional learning, we never see caring, we never see the true love between teachers and their students. We never see burnout, we never see the challenges. You're right, we as educators need to learn new things. Teaching never stops teaching us. Every day is a new opportunity to learn new things. You were amazing, and you're amazing as teachers and as educators, as inspectors. So anyone in this field is amazing, is doing a great job. Thank you. You've made today's webinar a special one, a very special one. Thank you, Siali. Thank you, Salamjit. Thank you, a big and warm thank you to all the participants and to the speakers, Mrs. Mrabet, Mrs. Hayfa Majdoub, Mrs. Reem bin Salem, Mrs. Monjia, Nasri. Did I forget anyone? So
Mrs. Monjia wants to show up in video. I mean, her camera is turned off. Can you just, I don't know, maybe Mrs. Lama who did this? Can you turn it on? I don't know.
Whose camera?
Mrs. Monjia, she's typing there in the chat box.
Mrs. Yeah.
Me too, you know, me too. I can't use video. I don't know. Oh,
okay.
It's back now.
Yeah,
it's back now. Okay,
you're
muted all, I guess.
Yeah, we have faced maybe some.
Yes, so Madam Monjia, you can turn on your camera.
Broadband to avoid connection problems, so I disabled that.
I know the trouble. Yeah.
Working.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Since I'm here, I haven't said a word for a long time. I was just a kind of backup plan. Thank you very much, Sahbib, for moderating this webinar. We wanted it to be really kind of a round table, and with the different speakers sharing their experience with how to kindle motivation. We know that all educators are facing many challenges, many problems. But you know, it takes a great heart, shape-making mind, and as most of you mentioned, we need to collaborate. We need, to reach out to our colleagues. We need to find someone like Ali, But if you cannot manage to find someone like Sally, be your own Sally, be your own savior, as you say. I mean, again, thank you all. Sayyid Amjad, my first inspector too. I owe you a lot. Najid Hasni, I mean, she is my learning companion. I mean, Ms. Camelia, to all of you, thank you very much. Thank you for all the attendees for always joining us in our class.
Mrs. Atwi.
From me, yes.
Mrs.
Atwi, let's not forget about our colleague, Mr. Kamel Sheikh, who is on his way back to Mednin. Si Kamel, could you take some time off to say a few words? If you couldn't, so we really thank you for the valuable time you gave in the previous webinars. And see, Kamel, maybe he's kind of disconnected. He's on his way back. So over to you, Mrs. Zorgati or Mrs. Lamal Atwi, to maybe to wrap up this webinar. We wanted it to be 1 hour, but it ended.
Mrs. Hosni is raising her hand.
Yeah, please do.
Yes.
Oh,
so
thank you, Lema.
Sorry for that. I didn't notice that. Yeah.
Finally, someone noticed my hand. Yeah. So I'd like to thank you for organizing this. Yeah, this webinar. Yeah. So it's always a pleasure to meet Sally. I'm so happy to be here today, to hear your voice, to keep learning from you. So I'm begging you, I'm asking you, the new generation of ELT inspectors, to organize other meetings, because I would have loved to talk, to listen more to Mr. Ali, though I really appreciated listening to all the teachers' experiences, talking about their job experiences. It's great, it's good. What about organizing a meeting now with other retired colleagues? So let's think about Abdul Nur Khmiri, Maharis, etc. So you know that you know that I'm not good at ICT, and I'm so happy to collaborate with Lama. I've learned a lot from her and with her. So think about organizing a meeting with other colleagues, where we can share ideas, and we learn from their experience. We really need that. So thank you again, and I'm looking forward to meeting again Mr. Ali Souli. Listen to him, talk to him, and learn from him. Thank you for being in my life, Sally. Goodbye.
Thank you, Mrs. Hosni. Over to you, Sally, if you'd like to say a few words.
Thank you. Yes. I was raising my hand. This is a new skill I'm learning. I've just learned. Well, I was raising my hand just to say how a little bit ashamed I feel, because I forgot to mention Mrs. Monjia, to thank Mrs. Monjia Agrabi, Mrs. Najwa Hammami, who once was there in Le Kef, Mrs. Najat Hosni, our dear colleague. I'd like to say thank you all, and I'm really sorry because at first I forgot to thank you. So my apologies to all of you, and I'd like to conclude by saying thank you, Si Habib, Mrs. Lama Atwi, Camelia, Mr. Kamel Sheikh, for having given us this opportunity. This is something great, but please do not count on me that much. You know, I'm not very keen on, it's not my cup of tea, I mean, to attend webinars all the time. But to conclude, it was great pleasure, really great pleasure, listening to so many familiar voices and some unfamiliar voices as well. And I'd like to thank you all once again. Goodbye.
Thank you, Siali. Over to you, Mrs. Atwi or Mrs. Camelia, to maybe to wrap up this session.
Okay, I will just say thank you, because it's 9:15. The event is meant to be a roundtable, and colleagues had a chance to talk for 10 minutes, but you see how things turned out. Yeah, this is just because we have passionate teachers. I mean, teachers who have teaching as part of their identity. Okay, I'd like to comment on Mrs. Hosni's idea. It is a great idea indeed to have retired colleagues. Okay, so why not? We have studied this time. Why not other colleagues, either teachers or inspectors? Okay, so both. That would be a great idea. I mean, to have retired colleagues to learn from. They will tell us about the experience, and that would be a really great idea. Thanks, Mrs. Mrabet, for the idea. Okay, we'll think about that, Sahbibi, yes?
Inshallah.
And the other idea from Saadi to be punctual, Mrs. Camilla. Next time, come on time.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, so thank you so much. It is a great pleasure meeting you, seeing you, listening to you all. Thank you to all colleagues and to Sally. See you next time in other webinars or events like this. I don't know. Sorry, Sally, for keeping you this much.
Yeah.
I know it's more than 2 hours. Yeah, that's really
okay.
great.
Okay, I think it's time to say goodbye. I think it's time to say thank you to all the participants, to all the speakers, to all the attendees. You've been special today, and you've made our session special. So thank you all. Have a relaxing and restful weekend. Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye. Good night. Bye-bye.